Hi. I have to fill in. I got a little ahead of myself on that last one, so I got to fill in a few things that I left out. Important memories to me and important to my story, I guess. But one thing, just a cool memory of mine, is that when I went to visit that guy out of state, um, he took me to a disco and it was in a cave. It was the coolest place I've ever been, probably. I mean, one of the coolest places I've ever been in my whole life, in a cave. Um, Huge, big cave, and you had to go through this whole labyrinth of, uh, you know, tunnels and all to get to the main big dance floor. And there was a band, and we danced and had a good old time. Um, Moni Moni. Remember that? You know that song, Moni Moni? Love that song. It's a great dance song, and that's like one of my favorites. Always, I always think of, every time I hear that song, I always think of it because I danced with that song there. And that was also the first time I danced since high school. I was like 39 years old, and I had not danced since high school. My husband did not dance. We didn't go to clubs or anything like that. So that was a really good time for me. And I think they closed it down. Maybe it wasn't safe or something. I don't know, but it was the coolest place, natural cave. Um, so also I had to fill in that I did take my family to counseling when I moved to Atlanta, after I was there a while, and I realized how depressed my boys were, and I was concerned about the direction my daughter was heading. So I did go to Family First, it was called. I think they still have it out there. It's like for low income or something like that. Um, it was good. It was a woman counselor, took my kids, and it was good for me. Unfortunately, they didn't open up, they didn't talk much. It did not help them, but it really helped me, as a parent. It helped me um, to feel more confident. It helped reinforce things in me, and it helped me to know that I was doing a lot of the right things, and it just was a good support. I went there with my kids several times, and then they would put me out and try to talk to kids alone and talk to me alone and all that. Only went a few times, but like I said, I stopped going because they weren't opening up, they weren't talking, they weren't doing anything, it wasn't doing anything for them, and that's why I was really going, but it did help me. So family first, it's a good thing. If you can't, it'll help. I mean, it's like for low income, so they work on a sliding scale, because I was working. I probably paid $10, $20 or something like that for a session. I didn't have medical insurance, I'm sure of that. So also got to fill in here that um, one of the reasons I moved. I didn't even put this. This was so important. I should have said this 2 sessions ago. But after I worked in network rental for 2 years. It was good, really good experience for me. Made a good friend there, Christopher, and learned Excel working there, which I needed. And so I kept on trying to get a better job. I told you they were paying me well, but I was working 45 hours a week and no overtime. So I kept looking, and Holiday Inn Worldwide had moved from Memphis to Atlanta. I mentioned it. They had moved there before I moved to Atlanta, and they had done this big hiring thing where they hired like close to 2,000 people or something when they moved to Atlanta. And then so I here it is, uh 2 years later, just about, and they got rid of a lot of those people they hired when they came to Atlanta. They did assessments, and they just got rid of a lot of people that weren't working so good, and they were doing another big rehire, and I got hired. Also, I got to tell you that I started going to church, of course. If you've been following, um, I was, I still am. I have strong faith. It's better now than ever. Anyway, yeah, I needed church. My kids needed church. So as soon as I got to Atlanta, I went to Seventh-day Adventist Church right away. And, they right away talked to me and they threw me right into that Sabbath school teacher thing, and had a class. I was an assistant. There was another leader, but I did the Bible study in the class, the Bible lesson in the class. It was the juniors that were like 10 to 12 years old, that class. Threw me right in there. I thought that because I was divorced that they wouldn't want to use me anywhere. But as soon as they heard that I taught, they threw me right in. And there was a couple ladies, single ladies, that got real friendly with me right away. They wanted me to hang out with them. But again, they were like 10, 15 years older than me. And these girls were very attractive. I mean, they were like glamour girls. This was the early 90s. You know, big hair and all that. But I told you, Seventh-day Adventists are super conservative. And the church I came out of, super conservative. I mean, you wore modest clothes, no makeup, no jewelry. All that stuff was sinful. And these ladies, they were young. They were only in their 20s and beautiful. They had these ones I'm talking about all had long blonde hair and all puffed up and curled and everything and very attractive, and but no makeup, no jewelry, but they did wear lipstick, which I found interesting. I came from a little tiny country church, and here we are in the big city, and it was different. Um, Weird thing about those Seventh-day Adventists. They were against jewelry. They said it was sinful, but they thought it was okay somehow, some way, which never made sense to me, to wear a brooch. Or, you could, you're not supposed to braid your hair, but you could put ribbons or, you know, uh, fancy clips or whatever, to decorate your hair, but you're not allowed to braid it. And you're not allowed to wear jewelry, but just a brooch is okay. I mean, that's made no sense to me at all. But anyway, these people, just because they were so young and beautiful anyway, they looked more worldly. And the one lady wore really tight dresses all the time. And anyway, they wanted me to hang out with them, and I kind of tried that scene, but it didn't do it. It wasn't right for me. I didn't fit in. None of them had kids. They were so much younger than me, and yeah, I couldn't do that. And then the one lady, very sweet, very nice lady, and she was very interested in Lauren. She was actually teaching the youth group, which was the teenagers, um, and maybe college kids, that's the way it usually is in church anyway. Um, so she was teaching them, and, Lauren was just barely like 13, and they took she took a really strong interest in Lauren, and she kind of wanted to take Lauren under her wing. Really sweet, very nice lady this was. And Lauren liked her, but, I mean, she wasn't Lauren's age, she was right in between me and Lauren, the age. Anyway, that's the way the church went. It was a lot different because Atlanta's such a different place than where I was in the back country of San Diego. But um, anyway, I didn't have a real good feeling about that church, but I kept going. Okay, so got to tell you though, one time, okay, it was like the first Easter that we were in Atlanta, and we had been going to the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which meets on Saturday, and it was Easter Sunday, and I wasn't really attached to this church, I didn't feel that, and I said to my kids, you know what? It's going to be Easter Sunday, and you kids have never been to church on Easter Sunday. I think it's about time we went to church on Easter Sunday. So I just opened up this is 1991. I opened up the Yellow Pages, looked up for a church close by. I found this St. James Methodist Church in Roswell, and I was originally from a Methodist church, and I liked that and all. And I said, okay, let's go. We're going to go here Sunday worship for the first time. And my kids, we all went, and it was all black church, which of course, I didn't know. And we went, and they were somewhat friendly, but not overly friendly to us. I have to say that the men were more friendly than the women. I actually kind of felt like the women were a little bit cold. I don't think they wanted me in that church. Like I was going to steal one of their men or something. Um, but the men were, somewhat friendly, cautiously friendly, I'll say. Anyway, we went and sat down, looked around. We saw we were, everybody was black, and the one of my kids said to me, "Are we gonna stay, Mom? Are we gonna stay here?" I said, "Yeah, we're gonna stay," and it was great. It was a really good sermon, beautiful service, everything, music, everything. It was beautiful, But anyway, that's just a kind of a sidebar that we did that one time, and we ventured out to a different church, and it happened to be all black, and they weren't real accommodating to us. So let's see what else is going on at this time. I got to tell you, so um, I put in an application at Holiday Inn Worldwide, okay, and they were actually bought out by Bass Hotels and Resorts, which was a UK company. That's why they moved to Atlanta, because they were no longer a Memphis company. Anyway, I got hired there, but I also had put in an application because of this lady from church, the one I told you about that was really trying to get real chummy with me and my daughter. Um, she was working for Turner Broadcasting, TBN, which is in the same building, and I think they were affiliated somehow with CNN, same building as CNN, downtown Atlanta. And she was working there, and she got me an interview with Turner Broadcasting, and they liked me. They hired me. So I got hired actually on the same exact day. I got a call from Holiday Inn Worldwide and Turner Broadcasting for the exact same position, accounts payable, exact same pay, two really big hot companies. And I had to make a decision. And I decided on Holiday Inn because they were in a better location. I didn't have to drive downtown. They're right on the perimeter. If you know Atlanta, where Perimeter Mall is, right across the street, there's a big, tall building, big, tall glass building, tallest building in the whole area. That was the building, and I went to work there. It was, oh my goodness, what a mind blower to me that I was working in this plush, beautiful high rise. I mean, they had an atrium down when you walked in. Well, there was a parking garage, and you come in, and there's the atrium with trees growing and, little streams of water and all kinds of flowers and everything. And it was just a really plush, beautiful environment. I couldn't believe that I was actually there. And, these were the days I'm wearing suits to work and with the big shoulder pads. And um, uh, it was like, I couldn't believe I was in such another world. I was a country girl living with rattlesnakes, getting wood to heat my house 2 years ago, and here I am in this fancy plush office up near the top. Um, uh, Unbelievable. It was, I was on top of the world. So I worked there and accounts payable, which was not a glorified position, but I worked for company-owned hotels. Now, like 80% were franchise. First, getting in entry level, uh, worked with the company-owned hotels, accounts payable. My goal was to key 400 invoices a day, and started out like about 300. I got up to 400 a day, but man, let me tell you, it did a lot of damage to these fingers. You see these fingers? That's from all that keying. I got arthritis really bad in my fingers a couple years later, but that was a lot of keying, let me tell you. So let me move on here with my story. So I'm working at Holiday Inn, and I another very, very important thing. Okay, I told you about the couple guys that I dated while I was in Atlanta up to that point in time. Well, I decided, because my boys were so depressed and my daughter was getting out of control. In fact, by this time, uh, my daughter, I mean, I was worried about her with her boyfriend, and she actually ran away from home. Um, she was missing a few days, and then I found out she was with her dad, that he sent her a ticket, and she was in California with her dad, and it was bad. I mean, first she was gone a few days, and I had to I filed a police report. She was missing, and her friends, parents actually lied to the police and said they hadn't seen her when she would actually stayed at their house for a little bit of time. And then she ended up going and she was at her dad's. So I lost my daughter. My boys were so depressed. And, I was not having good luck on the dating scene. And I decided, I seriously need a husband. I need a father for these kids. I need a husband. So I went to this is 1991, 92. Anyway, I before online dating, I was not on the internet. I don't think they had online dating yet. And I went to this place in Marietta, and it was called Heart to Heart. And what you did was you wrote up a profile, like one page, and you had to do a video, which I wasn't comfortable about that, but they made it real easy. They kind of did it like a little interview, and it was easy. So I got a couple good pictures. I made a profile. I did a video, and then you can look in the library. Now this cost $350 for me. And then you could look in the library at the men out there, and you could pick out the man you wanted from the picture and the profile, and then you could watch his video. And if you liked him, they would let him know. So that's the way they did it. So I picked out one guy, looked at a few, and one guy I liked. And I'll tell you why I liked him. It wasn't, I mean, he was nice looking. His looks weren't like movie star blow you away, but he was nice looking. And I really liked his profile, what he said about himself. And then when I watched his video, I liked that even more. I mean, he was a really good speaker. Talked, and he had a nice voice, and I just liked the way he spoke. And I could tell he was intelligent and articulate, and I just liked everything he said. He seemed to be honest and all. And so he was the one I picked, and they called him and they said, somebody likes you. And then he went and looked at my profile on my video, and then he called me, and I'm going to call him Mark, okay, for my video here. And he called me and asked me out, and I went. This guy, well, first of all, he came and got me in this really hot car. Um, I don't remember what it was. It was some kind of Dodge Charger or something, but it was like this really cool emerald green, shiny, brand new, really, really hot car. It was Intrepid. That's what it was. Dodge Intrepid. And it was brand new. It was really nice. And anyway, he took me to like one of the most expensive, most ritzy not hotel, restaurant in Atlanta, 103 West. I think that was the name. And I mean, it was like the most fancy restaurant I had ever been in. And he was awesome. I felt very comfortable because of just the way he was, his personality and everything. I liked him, and after we ate, he took me to Dave and Buster's, and we played pool. And then I remember I had gone to his house, and he had a nice big house that was impressive, nice big brick house in a nice subdivision in Marietta. And I left my car there, and we went in his car. And then when we came back, he kissed me goodbye, and it was just like the perfect date. It was really good. And so then we kept seeing each other for a while, and 3 weeks later, we got engaged. 3 weeks. He presented me. It was really cute because he picked me up at my apartment, and I just went and got in his car, and he broke out with this diamond ring um, after 3 weeks. I never had a diamond ring before. If you watch my previous episodes, how my first marriage happened, um, I said, yeah, right away. I was thrilled. He was like the most awesome person I ever met in my life. And we got engaged 3 weeks later. He told me that he was supposed to present it to me at dinner that night, but he couldn't wait. As soon as I got in the car, he had to break out with it. He couldn't wait. He said he didn't go to work that day. He was so excited. He went to the jeweler's and bought the diamond ring, and he was so excited he couldn't work and everything. So it was awesome. It was sweet. It was good. So that was happy. And oh, I gotta tell you. Oh no, I'll wait till next time. Okay, time's up. Thanks for watching, and please keep watching. I have lots of interesting stuff to still tell you. So, and I'm up to over 2,700 views on Facebook. So that's exciting. I mean, it's just nice to know somebody's looking at this because I do put a little effort into it. So thank you. God bless.